People think that my life here in France is always an adventure. And in the beginning, it was because everything was so fresh and new. But now, almost 6 years in, life can feel a little bit routine or a bit stale. So what do you do when that happens? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the things I've done and give you some steps to take so that if you are feeling this way, either in your new country or maybe you haven't made the leap yet, but you're feeling really pretty antsy and ready to be there, what you can do to freshen up, liven up the life that you have where you are now. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are already a subscriber, I want to thank you. If you're new here, welcome. And if you find content about life in France, moving abroad, or finding the confidence and courage to live life on your terms something of interest, then this is your channel. Be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell. I'm Patricia Brooks, and in 2018, I found the confidence and courage to quit my job and to move to a country where I knew no one and that spoke French. And it's been an amazing adventure. And as I said at the beginning, everything was fresh and new. You look around and it was an overload of new sensory inputs. Things tasted fresh and new. I was seeing things for the first time. I was hearing things for the first time. And so just by getting up and going out, I was having an adventure. Well, fast forward about 6 years, life can take on its routines. And since I moved here, I started my own business. So I've got work routines that I didn't have in the beginning that caused me to have a little less free time to just go and explore and wander like I did in the early days. So what can you do when you find that your life has gotten a little bit routine or you feel like you're in a rut and you have already made a move to another country thinking that that was going to scratch that itch? Well, you don't have to move to another country. I think a lot of people and people who are nomadic may want to move to another country for another challenge, but that's not my MO, right? I am a homebody. I like to put down roots where I am. When I was living in Richmond, I lived there for close to 25 years, and that was fine with me until I felt like, yeah, I'm ready for something completely new. But now, 6 years in, I know that France is home for me. I just know that I need to get out of the routines I've created for myself. So at the beginning of this year, I was starting to feel a little bit, is France right for me? Maybe I need to find another country. And I swatted that away pretty quickly because I know that France is home for me. But what could I do to liven things up a bit? Well, because I am a homebody, I recognize that I don't get out and travel a whole lot. A lot of people love to travel. It's okay for me, right? It's not the thing that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go here, go there. I'm happy and content in my own little neck of the woods. But I recognize that I wasn't seeing France. That was one of the things I wanted to do, was to explore France and different areas of France, and recognize I'd not been north of Paris. So when my language exchange partner suggested that I come to Rouen for the Armada that they hold every few years, I jumped at the chance. And back in March, I booked my tickets, right? I was ready to go. So when June rolled around, I did that, and I had something to look forward to. So I think, booking travel that you're excited about gives you something to look forward to. And so that was one thing I did. The other thing that I did that now has amounted to something that is exciting and fresh and new for me is I started learning Spanish. Now, I've been listening to Pimsleur method on my own, on my daily walks. And that is a bit of a routine, right? It's something that gets the language in me. I'm learning. However, there's not interaction with other people, and it has taken on routine of its own. But 3 weeks ago, started a Spanish class here at the Cultural Cafe. They offer classes here in English, in French, and in Spanish. And so I raised my hand for Spanish. So now I am taking a Spanish class that is taught all in French. And it's helping me to really understand France and the French language in a different way really through the eyes of French people, because the conversations that we have about the differences in Spanish and how you pronounce things differently is from their vantage point. And so I'm getting this inside view, and it feels really good. It is a lot of fun because it's really relaxed. So that's something else that I have done that has spruced up my language learning, right? Yes, I can walk every day for 30 minutes and do my lesson. And that was something that got me to a base level of French initially. And it was great. But now it's just kind of like, yeah, I get to do this, but it's not something that really makes me that excited. But this class, I look forward to every Monday evening. So that was something else that I did to spice things up. Over the summer, I took a couple of trips, short trips, one to Barcelona, one to Les Angles in the mountains. And that gave me a change of scenery. So sometimes it's just a matter of change of scenery. Now, that is in the area of activities. But sometimes we need to spice things up in our work lives as well. And one thing that I did when I was working a job for corporate America was that I decided that, yes, I've got my job and I know how to do it well and it pays the bills, but I want something in addition. And that's when I started doing lunch and learn presentations because I wanted to improve my presentation skills. So that's something you can do in the area of your work. Now for my business, which is one of the reasons I think I've gotten into routine, is because I have a certain structure that I follow on a weekly basis, is I need to shake things up a little bit with that too. I've gotten comfortable. So that said, that's how I am bringing a little bit of spice back into my life here in France after close to 6 years. But what are the steps that you can take to make this happen for you? Well, I think one thing that you can do, whether you are in a new country and things have started to fade a little bit, things aren't as fresh and new, or whether you are in the country that you are planning to move from and you're just ready to be in your new country, but it's not time yet. You can look at where you are through the eyes of a tourist. Now, if you have ever gone anywhere, right, traveled anywhere as a tourist, you know, oh, I want to see this and I want to see that. But if you're living in a place, things just kind of get blurry and you don't see the excitement of going on a guided tour of your own city. I know I was in Richmond, Virginia, as I said, for close to 22 or 23 years. And there are things that are really very interesting that tourists who come explore, right? About the Civil War, museums that I've never been in Richmond, Virginia. And that's because, well, I lived there. They were at my disposal whenever I wanted to. And I didn't take advantage of them when I was there. Now I'm far away. I can't. But doing those things helps you to see things differently, right? You're not just passing that building or that museum. You're going in and you're like, oh, wow, that was really interesting. And I didn't know this or that. So that is one thing that you can do. I think the other thing is just becoming aware that you are feeling in a rut. And what does that feel like to you? Maybe it surfaces as boredom, or maybe it's a thought that comes to mind that, yeah, this country was great in the beginning, but now I'm tired of it and I think I'm ready for something new. Well, maybe that's the case, or maybe it's not. Maybe you just need to spice up where you are. But either way, becoming aware of that will allow you to say, okay, well, what is it that I would like to experience? Or how can I spice things up? And then you can start to plan activities to do that. And I think this is a really interesting thing because in the beginning, for me, I knew that I would have to put myself out there as somebody who has introvert tendencies. And so when I came to France, I was looking for activities to immerse myself in. And then COVID happened and I went into my shell, and that was a comfortable place for me. I was like, oh, I don't have to put myself out there anymore. But when things opened up, I found that I was still in my shell, and it was harder for me to put myself out there because, well, number one, I've been in France for a couple of years already. So I was not feeling the pressure of having to get out and meet people, but then also it was comfortable for me. And I think that every couple of years, this boredom or there's got to be more surfaces in me. And I recognize that that's because that I have become jaded. I don't see things with fresh eyes. I'm not doing anything new or exciting. I've gotten caught in my routine and in a rut. And I think that knowing that, being aware of that, and then recognizing, well, what is going to scratch that itch? Is it a move abroad? Is it another move to another foreign country? Is it learning a new language? Is it being a tourist in your town? Then you can take steps and freshen up your life. Having said that, you might be in a country that you feel no longer serves you. You might be dying to get to this new country, your dream country. And yet you haven't made the kind of progress that you had anticipated to this point. Maybe you know exactly what you need to do, but for whatever reason, you're not doing it. You're procrastinating. Maybe you're just not really even sure where to get started. Maybe there's a little bit of fear that's coming up for you and you want to kind of get through that so that you can make the next steps, take the next moves, and finally start living in your dream country. If that sounds like you, then I would absolutely love to have a conversation to understand what your plans are and what are those things that are blocking you from actually working that plan and living a life that feels more in line with who you are. So I'm going to put a link to my calendar in the description where we can have that conversation, and I look forward to it. So that is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, subscribe, share it with your friends, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.